What is going on? It looks like actually on the that is self-acceptance. I think that was the video you did yesterday. Anyway, welcome to the live video. This is the first time. Damn, I hate being early. Whoa, whoa, whoa! It's starting out a little sexually. Welcome to the live broadcast. I don't know if you guys are familiar, but every single weekday we go live. I just want to make sure that we are good to go. We're on Wi-Fi and we are making sure that no calls, texts, or emails come through. I actually don't get email notifications, and I highly recommend you should not too. I think I should have a productivity class. What's going on, Chris? Obviously, you may recognize this question, Chris. This is actually the beginning part of, it was pretty much your question, and I just sliced it down to make it a little bit more feasible on the YouTube kind of titling. If you guys are new and you're watching this later on, we go live every single weekday. Obviously, subscribe, hit that little bell notification, all that other bullshit that other YouTubers say. Maybe that's why they have more subscribers. I don't know. But we are going to be doing live on that bad boy once I get a new lens. The lens has to be bought today. I've just been pushing it back because, to be honest, I have more important things to do. Like make some fucking money. Ooh. Whoa. All right. So getting into this. Personal development. Woo. I'll just go into the background of this. Woo. I don't know what that was about. It was not in my family. You know, if you really want to get back into the this piece of hair is gonna really piss me off. Year of emotions. There you go. So obviously, it's a little bit easier to look up the things that you like to look up. You know, if you like ponies, you can easily Google ponies, or you like, I don't know, putting together cars or drones or whatever. How to film drones, how to put together drones, how to make a drone. Doesn't really matter. It's all on YouTube. Okay, YouTube was not around in 2000. It was around, yes, but it wasn't popular. And there weren't that many videos, and there weren't easy ways to actually get videos out there. So the dissemination of information, you could call it the information age, obviously started in around 2000. You know, you had Microsoft and Windows, they're going back and back, head to head against each other. You had Windows XP, you had the iMac, which included everything into one, and now you have all of that into your freaking cell phone, which is amazing. Why did I start? Let's just start with that. Why did I start? I think I hit a moment where there was no term personal development. There was no self-development. That wasn't even a term in my mind. It was just, I hit a point where, you know, you go 18 years in high school and then people start dividing. Okay, they start dividing into better schools, playing sports, D1, D2, D3 athletes. And I was a D2 athlete, obviously, based on my size. No, I was about 30 pounds heavier of muscle and creatine and protein and all this other bullshit that they just fed me. And they're like, just eat this and just go work out. And the thing was, once you're in college, you start going through college. And then honestly, for me, you know, I don't know what it was for you guys, but I just wanted to leave. You know, it's easy to do stuff like that, to develop it, harder to the question. Yeah, I didn't know all about this. I just knew that when I hit my senior year or my junior year of college, I said, I don't even know if I'm gonna graduate on time. And then I hit my senior year and I'm like, I am not graduating on time. And I couldn't tell my parents, what's going on, Erwin, how we doing? I couldn't really tell my parents. It's very embarrassing. I couldn't tell my family because they were very, stringent, very stringent, you know, which was good. Very by the books, you know, box thinking. You know, I think through my childhood, I wanted attention, but it was for the wrong reasons. You know, I did stupid things. You know, I got in trouble. Just dumb things. You know, that thank God there's no iPhone and whatever. But then when you're 21, 22, you say, okay, well, obviously I can't do that anymore. And we're all graduating from college. What do we do? So that's when I recently went back and I picked up the book, I went through my Amazon history, and I noticed that in 2007, obviously I ordered the two books. You guys already know that, Feel the Fear and Do It Anyway, and How to Win Friends and Influence People. And it didn't even occur to me. You know, you guys are so blessed. You know, that's the thing, is that, like, I'll get into an argument with someone, not an argument, a discussion, and they'll get so emotional and they'll say, oh, this is so hard. with your presence today, Erwin. I know, Erwin, yeah. Erwin's lying in bed looking up on his iPhone like that, or sleeping on his stomach with his head into his pillow. And yeah, that's how I watch videos. And one of the biggest things was that you reach a point where you just say, enough is enough. You know, enough is enough. And whether you know what to do or you don't know what to do, I was on the road of, I don't know what to do, okay? I don't know what to do. I don't know who to follow. There was no Grant Cardone's, Ed Millette's, Bob Proctor's, Brian Tracy's in my life. There was no Tony Robbins. They were out there. They just weren't in my life. You know, so I started actually seeing, I went from a really nice guy to the extreme of being an asshole. Okay, and then I noticed that both didn't work. Okay, being a nice guy, you're kind of manipulating. Being an asshole, you're just being an asshole. Okay, people are doing things, and then they say he's kind of an asshole. You know, part of my brunch, munch on the brunch. So once I noticed that, you know, I picked up that book. Obviously, you guys already know the mindset that, wow, I can actually learn to be better. That's how dumb I was. Not dumb, ignorant, whatever. I hate the word ignorant. It's such a bad word. But that's what I was. I didn't even know that I can improve. And when I read Feel the Fear and Do It Anyway. And because, what book? Sorry, I missed the start. It was Feel the Fear and Do It Anyway by Dr. Susan Jeffers, and How to Win Friends and Influence People. I actually have the original book. I was home on Mother's Day. How to Win Friends and Influence People. I have the original book that I read in 2007. It's in my room. That's crazy. And I started leafing through it, and I'm like, I should pick this back up because there's so many little things in there. If I get one thing, you know, it's funny, you know, in my apartment when I go through my affirmations or whatever, and I come out of my meditation, you know, Dr. Joe Dispenza has really turned my mindset around, is that if we think about the past and we do the same exact actions, and we're really living in the past because that's what we're used to. Those are our routines. Okay, follow me for a second. So if we wake up and we go on our phone, we check our email, then we get out of bed, we snooze our alarm or turn on the light, then we take a shower and we maybe go to the gym, we may not go to the gym, it doesn't really matter. Those are habits. Those are habits of the past. So follow me for a second, is that you're not really living today. Yes, it is today, but you're living in the past because those are all past habits. And obviously you already know the definition of setting, doing the same thing, expecting a different result. And Dr. Joe Dispenza has literally flipped my meditation around, where I meditate where it's emptiness. So I'm able to hold on to, you know, if there's a negative emotion or some shit happens in work, then I'm able to take it and then release it, is the first part. And then the second part is actually where I think that the future is today, that I'm literally thanking all the people that I've hired, all the business that I have, the space that I have. I don't know if you follow me on Instagram, but I posted about Hudson 2025. That's called accountability. Okay, people, I'm putting a lot of shit out there. You know, that's a big thing. Okay, to other people, they're gonna forget about it in a week or a month. But for me, it was a big deal, because once you start putting it out there, that was the first roadblock. So the first half is why I started. You either start because you don't know what to do, but you just want to try something. That was me. Or you start because an emergency happened and you need to start, which is you just had a heart attack. You need to start eating well. My friend's father had a heart attack. His son, thank God, was in the house and is a doctor and noticed it. And his wife was like, I think you should go to the hospital. I think we should wake up Chris. And Chris is the doctor. And Chris comes down and he goes, Dad, you're having a heart attack. We need to. And his dad's like, no, I'm fine. You don't really know. And it's kind of that ego thing where you just don't want to even, say it out loud. Like, oh, I'm having a heart attack. Like you yourself, you see other people having it, but if it's yourself, that's insane. So thank God he was there. But since that time, he's went on this whole new diet, this whole new lifestyle, this whole new mentality. Why wait for the emergency? Start now, okay? So I didn't know what to do, but just start trying anything. People are talking about their passion. It's a lovely word to talk about, your passion. What should I do? What should I not do? Just try something, okay? That's the problem is, Erwin's already brought it up a couple of times, which is people just don't even start. They don't even start. You know, they just sit there and they just ruminate. I talked about that yesterday. It's either they ruminate or they have so many options. It's the paradox of choice, is that there's so many options. You know, you go into, what's that the Mexican place, Chipotle. You go to Chipotle, it's like, what do you want? What are you gonna put in there? And what toppings do you want? That's it. That should be life. You know, you got me on kombucha, by the way. Kombucha is amazing, okay? You know, if you really look at the gut bacteria, there's an incredible video that just came back, or just came out by, what's the name of the channel? I'll talk about it tomorrow, but it is an unbelievable channel. This guy is so free. It's maybe Kazakhstan. I don't know, Chris, look it up. But he talks about not only microbiome, superbugs, but bacteria. And if you are, how long have you been creating vids on YouTube about personal development? I don't know, you could look back to the beginning. I haven't deleted any of them. Yeah, like maybe I've deleted the bad ones, like in the beginning, where I'm like, this actually made no sense. I'm just gonna delete this because it's not gonna add any value to people's lives. But there's a video from Boston, I think 2 years, maybe, yeah, 2 years, 2.5 years. And that's the thing, is I literally wrote it in the post today, is that people are gonna see me in 10 years. And they're gonna be like, oh my God, holy cow, he's an overnight success. You know, comedians, they go through that. Actors go through that. You know, businessmen, you know, they go through that. They're like, I can't believe this. You know, Airbnb, the guy was it Airbnb or is it Uber? I think it was the guy that started Uber. And Uber, essentially, the guy failed multiple times. He has a video about this. It's an amazing video. And he literally says, I got here because I failed so many times. You know, you don't just wake up and then you start an app like that. You just go through it multiple times. Okay. My first roadblock was twofold. I gotta get something. 1 second. I usually drink water. You can write them all like Gary did. You can write to them all like Gary did. Yeah, there's a lot of people that are going to say, wow, you're lucky, or wow, you hit it. You know, it's like, you know, Tony Robbins has said is that you see 1 hour of my seminar. I've done hundreds of hours of research to get that 1 hour. And the two roadblocks that you guys are gonna hit, number one is people are gonna doubt you. It's actually the quote on Momentum. Highly recommend getting Momentum. It's a Chrome app, and it's a Chrome extension, I should say, Google Chrome extension. And it says they're gonna love you, or no, they're gonna doubt you, they're gonna hate you, then they're gonna love you. Something along those lines. And the first thing is people are gonna doubt you. Your friends are gonna doubt you, your family's gonna doubt you. Once you start going down this personal development, because they're gonna say, wow, he's bettering himself, he's going to the gym, he's totally different. Because they see you as a different personality. And wow, I don't know what was in that freaking, that oatmeal today, but whatever. They're gonna see you as this totally different person. And not see you as a totally different person, but they're gonna see you on that trajectory. And they've also seen their other friends on that trajectory, where they've seen their friends go on that trajectory. Yeah, I edited it, and it has good quotes on a daily basis. Unbelievable. It's also great because it doesn't go right to Google. It doesn't go right to Facebook. You know, there's so many productivity hacks that you need to do, that you need to install. Put apps in a folder, on the second page of that folder, that like a social media app on the second page of your iPhone. You know, in a folder, on the second page within that folder, on the second page of your iPhone. You know, I have everything on airplane mode pretty much all the time, and then I make calls out of that. All right, so the first is people are gonna doubt you heavily. And they are going to question everything, and they're gonna make fun of you. And you know, my uncle, he goes, yeah, he's onto that self-development kick, haha. And it's really not about you, it's about them. Obviously they question their insecurities about maybe their health, maybe their relationships, maybe their finances. And imagine you right now, imagine you start seeing your friend really starting to get successful with something that you have an insecurity about. So what's not an insecurity? Something that you want to improve. So something that I want to improve is maybe business. So we have a bunch of homes that are coming on the market, but I want more. I also need to hire. I'm meeting with someone today. And essentially, if I see someone that was the same level as me, now starting to take off, you look at that and you can do one of two things. You say, how did they do that? I need to do that. Or you could say it was luck. They somehow just fell into it, and then they start questioning you. They may start, because that's the easy route, is making fun of them. Okay. The second thing that I ran into was doubting myself, because you have all these beliefs, all these values, all these ideas, this identity that you've built up. Charles is the party guy. He's the cool guy. He's going to do keg stands. He's going to fight in rugby games. He's going to, curse a lot. And now he's into personal development. It's kind of like a bunch of guys that have, they're in a gang, or they're troublemakers or whatever, and now they're totally different now. Either they're meditating, or they're religious, or they're priestly or something like that. It's like you have to mold to this different identity. What comes with that is different friends. And, a lot of people come to me all the time and they say, okay, how do I remove my friends? It's not about removing your friends. It's about spending less time with them. That was the hardest thing, honestly, was spending less time with them. It's potentially unfollowing them on Instagram and Facebook. I did that with a lot of people. And to be honest, I went to the extreme, which I don't recommend. And I kind of push away people that actually are good people, but I just said, you're not into personal development. I am into personal development. Now it's just, I just accept it. If you are, you're not. It's not a big deal. People, who was making fun of me this weekend, they really just tore into me. And I'm at the point right now where it's like, it doesn't really matter. People very close to me what the heck were they making fun of? And now you get to a point where you just say, this is who I am. They will start accepting it when they start seeing consistent improvement. Charles, I'm surprised that you said, sound out doubt when you've accomplished so much, like starting your broker. I would say it's really competing against myself. That's anything. There's things that I would admire about everyone. Someone that is very close to my family, but someone, at the gym today, the girl she worked out, then went to the gym class, and then went afterwards. That's admirable. So she's in incredible shape. She looks fantastic and everything else. Maybe there's improvement that she wants in a relationship. Actually, I do know that she wants improvement in a relationship. So the first roadblock is you see the amount of doubt and hate and people making fun of you. The second is you start doubting yourself. Okay. The third, which is actually almost as important, is that you see there's so much to do. There's so much to learn. I just started getting really heavily into physics. I watch a ton. There's something called the World Science Fair. It's here in New York City, and I got an email. I might go see a couple of them. One of them is actually a lecture on neuroplasticity. They're going to have Steven Pinker. They're going to have Brian Greene. They're going to have a bunch of these guys. I don't know if that means anything to you. But that I've reached the level where I'm like, okay, I've pretty much handled most of the basics. Okay, now it's starting to get really deep, with energy and who we are. And honestly, when you hear a guy like Elon Musk, it's funny when someone comes up to you and they ask a very rudimentary question like, how do I get business in real estate? That's a very rudimentary question. They know exactly how to do it. It's just, and it's easily Googleable, but if they say, hey, listen, I'm having this issue when I call for sale by owners expires or past clients, how do I get over that? That's a little bit different. The way that I look at it is I'm on the advanced track right now. I went 10 years of the basics, and now I'm starting to get on the advanced track. Never stop learning. Someone's going to ask you a question that you used to look up to, and that's when I started seeing, oh my God, I am really on a good path right now. When people start asking you questions and you're like, I can't believe that's the mindset. The mindset of, should I drink water? Should I drink cola? Should I sleep in? Should I not? There's a great business here's a perfect example. There's a Business Insider video that Jocko Willink, the guy that wrote something accountability, full accountability or extreme ownership. And he's also the guy that wakes up at 4:30 every single day. And he put out a video and you could tell that the guy interviewing at Business Insider is this total knob. You know, he's probably a good guy. But Business Insider, the reason places like that, they're just there and they just produce content. It's not the highest quality, even though they have great guests. But the people that are actually writing that content, actually, you know what? Now that I think about it, I think the future of good content is going to come from people like you guys, like me, like Tony, like Brian, like Grant, all these people, Gary. Those are going to be, you know, Jordan Peterson, the people that are the thought leaders, the people that are actually creating original content. The thing is that CNN, Fox, you know, all those other garbage channels and everything else, even Business Insider and Inc. and Forbes and everything else are repackaging ideas and they're putting it out there. That's not going to be good enough anymore. You have to create original content, original thoughts, original video. So an original video is bringing Jocko Willink on there. And there's this guy who probably hasn't seen the inside of a gym ever. And he's right across from a guy that lives in a gym, Jocko Willink. So you have these two opposite guys. And the questions, you could just tell the mindset of the interviewer, Business Insider. He's just like, why wake up at 4:30 a.m. and you can see Jocko like in his mind, like, how is that even a question, you know? So obviously Jocko's on an advanced level and everything else, but then you scroll down to the comments, and that's where you see on a mass scale who not only the readership is, because if the readership was you guys and you were commenting on my video and I said 4:30, you'd be like, wow, I'm waking up at 5:30 or 6. I want to wake up earlier. But the comments on Business Insider were embarrassing. And why were they embarrassing? Because they were the most liked. So that means not only was the comment there, but it was the most popular. So the most amount of people thought that was the best comment. Okay? That's the end. The beginning is you can start for whatever reason. You guys are obviously on the journey. The biggest hurdles are first going to come from the outside, okay? Once you can handle the outside, waking up at 3 a.m. these days, that's amazing, you know? I don't have any issue with how early anyone wakes up. If someone says 3 a.m. like you, that's amazing. Because by the time I go to the gym, I've already meditated, I've already journaled, I've already done my affirmations. I've gotten so jacked up for the day that it's literally neurobiologically getting wired in my brain, in my body, in my cells, that by the time I go into a pitch that I feel I used to not deserve, the reason I put it in quotes is because I don't want to believe that, okay? And you go into that pitch and you're so certain. You know, you'd see Tony Robbins. I remember thinking, like, Tony Robbins talks about certainty, but how do you get to certainty? You get certainty by first thinking, then start doing, then you start believing, or it's the other way where you start believing. I didn't know that, you know. Now I'm starting to believe Hudson 2025, blah, 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 you know, all these things that I want to do. But you have to understand that the outside is going to, if you can get through the external things are people making fun of you, people doubting you, people questioning you. If you can get through that, then it's going to come internally. And then the internally is, can I get better? Do I believe this? Can I stay in this path? It's snowing out, it's raining out, I'm tired, I'm hungover, there's someone in my bed. You know, business is tough, it's a different marketplace. And that's the resiliency. That is what makes it. Not in the good times. Gary's already talked about this, and I 100% agree. It's the good times right now. There's no recession. You know, yeah, there's a little bit more on the market. You know, if you're in real estate, maybe there's a disruption going on in your industry. Doesn't really matter. It's going to happen anyway. You have to fully accept that, and that's the internal. One of the best comments on Jocko's, people say Jocko's a beast. He's more like the guy that ate the beast. Exactly. You know, and it was funny. One of the comments was one of the most liked comments was, he looks like he's tired. You know, obviously it's a guy that's never followed Jocko. He doesn't open his eyes all the way. And to be honest, he had the most energy and he was the most comfortable I've ever seen him. You know, there's times that when he wakes up in the morning, he looks a little bit tired or whatever, but what else do you expect? Melatonin is leaving your body because you're waking up. That's when it's strongest. 1 second. It's early in the morning. So anyway, I hope this helped a little bit. Go keep on the journey. You know, I'll leave you with this. My hot athletic yoga teacher. She's not hot, but she's attractive, but she's not, But so I sit in the front row. Why do I go to the front row? I'm not really good at yoga. I'm really good at the calisthenics and the the cardio part of it, which is insane. It's burpees and mountain climbers and push-ups, and it's insane. And it's like 90 degrees, so you're sweating everywhere. You're just drenched. And I sit there for the accountability. I'm not the best. I can't do a handstand. I can't even touch my toes. I can barely do most of the things, they're doing like prayer and like wrap your arms around. I can't do that. But the reason I'm up front is because I want to be held accountable to be to being the best. Sorry about that. And she said something very interesting, because two people that I know that were going to the class quit. And the reason they quit was one person said she does the same thing every single week. Yeah, but you're leaving after a grueling workout. You sweated out all the toxins. That is the definition of success, is doing the things you don't want to do. That is the mindset of someone that doesn't want to make the calls, doesn't want to go to the gym, doesn't want to eat healthy. Yeah, but I'm having the same salad every single day. That's not the thing that you need to have variety in. Going to the gym is not something you have a variety in. Maybe you say it's boring. Jocko does the same thing every single day. He pushes and pulls things, and that's it. That's all going to the gym is. What if I said having water right now, is all the water you drink filtered? No, unfortunately not. Good evening. Good evening. I've since going to Omaha, I've really, plastic is not good. Okay, plastic is very bad. Actually, most things come in plastic. Salad, drinks. That's why I have glass here. When you freeze it or you heat it up, that's even worse, because it's all toxins. And to make plastic, it's actually out of oil. Glass is out of sand. And there's probably toxins in there, but there's less toxins. Okay, plastic is not good. Even if it says BPA free or whatever the hell the other ones are, it doesn't really matter. So getting back to this is really important. Is that when you start going and I'll leave you with this, guys, even though I just said whatever, is that when you start going down the path and you start understanding the ability to translate someone's thought. When someone says, I go, blah, 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 I don't want to say their name. Why aren't you going to Serena's class? And they said, it's the same thing every single week. That's really saying they just don't want to they want variety. Variety doesn't give you success. Doing the bullshit every single day really hit home. I actually recorded on your voice memo app. That's awesome, man. I'm glad. That's really why I do it. It's to instill it in me and instill it in you. And obviously, you already know the goal of 8 billion people wanting to at least change something part of their life. And it's funny because there needs to be an overall self-conscious. I think why Jordan Peterson has resonated. I don't look at someone and I say I disagree or I agree. Like maybe I do a little bit, but to be honest, why is someone like Jordan Peterson just exploded onto the scene? Is because he's taken it as the intellectual route. He's not going out and he's yelling from the top of the mountain. If you want to talk about Donald, he doesn't really have the highest vocabulary. He just says best and great and everything else. And I look at it and I say, why is it resonating? Because he's dumbing it down to everyone. He's reaching a wide audience. And, and it's not looking at it good or bad on Jordan. You have your own opinion. But with Jordan Peterson, I started looking at it and I said, the reason he's hitting home is because he's actually taking the opposite route, where he's breaking it down. He's saying, why is this the way? Why is this? And then he starts going down and he says, the way it is because it's most likely hardwired into us. Gets 80,000 just on Patreon. I hope he does. That's a perfect example of someone who went 55 years, or however old he is, 55, 60 years old, going 50 years, 50 years without any popularity, any fame, just reading and learning, and then guess what? when it was time, he stepped up, and now he has all of 30 years of clinical practice. He knows all the studies, he knows all the books, he knows everything, he knows the research. So when someone comes at him, he's not a 22-year-old kid, he's not a 30-year-old kid, he's someone that has actually lived this. So when I'm 40 and someone says, where did this guy come from? Or it could be even for you guys, where did this guy come from? He's been doing this for 30 years. Jordan Peterson. Charles has been doing this for 20 years, okay? And then when I'm 50 and I'm Grant or Bob Proctor or Brian Tracy or Tony Robbins or Peter Diamandis or Steven Pinker or, all these guys, imagine someone like, who's the guy that wrote Stoicism is the Way? Ryan Holiday. Imagine Ryan Holiday when he's 55, how brilliant of a thinker he's gonna be. He's just layering stoicism on top of intellectual onto why is this the case? That should be the question about everything. Here's a small example. Why are my lips chapped? And I go, well, I've been drinking enough water, so it's not really the hydration. And then I say, what else touches my lips? Actually, I thought about it this morning. It's when I wash my face at the gym. It's too abrasive. What I wash my face with at Equinox is too abrasive. So then I say, okay, I'm going to do less of it because most people would say, okay, let's put Vaseline on it, or let's put chapstick, or let's put, if you're a girl, lipstick, or whatever the hell else. Don't know if you watch. Yeah, great channel. Breakdown. Yeah. See, that's the thing is the reason that Jordan Peterson is winning is because he's able to not raise his voice. He improves his argument. I saw that as a quote. He doesn't raise his voice. He doesn't yell. He doesn't scream. He doesn't get emotional. He doesn't attack you. He improves his argument, and then he tells a story or he tells an example how it can relate to you. And that's the thing is that if you can't do that, you're never going to be able to influence. You're never going to be able to manage because that is real time, just interactions right there. That's real time interactions. How are they feeling? Do they roll their eyes? Do they look bored? Do they look like am I talking too much? Is it not relating? Is it not hitting home? Things like that. So I'm going to hop out. Just know that the 3 stages of personal development, one is that something has to give for you to start. Then you're going to start getting doubt from the outside. Then you're going to start doubting you internally because you've gotten far enough where the outside doesn't really affect you. You start doubting yourself on the inside. And then the last step is where you've gone so far that you have the foundation that one little thing. I'll just say this is that I went to Omaha and I spent $1,400, $1,500 on the whole trip, probably right around there. And people were like, you flew from New York? That's crazy. And I'm like, not really, because this is one of the top agents in the country, and that is another top agent in the country, and they're both millionaires. So yeah, it's not that crazy. I got 1 hour on real time with this guy that he charges $5,000. And there's one thing that I got of it, is that the future is teams in real estate. That's the thinking you guys should have, is that what is my return on this conversation? What is the return, not on my money, but on my time? What is my return being in this relationship or something like that? Look frustrating. See, that's the thing is that I didn't look at it as frustrating because I had no control over it. It would be frustrating if I was the one flying and I was the one that was delayed. That's the frustrating because I'm not changing. I can't change the outside. Stoicism 101. Anything external, you accept. Anything that's happened, you accept. Acceptance. It sounds like, hogwashy and very woo-woo, but that's the only way. Because otherwise, you're going to ruminate, and then going back to Dr. Joe Dispenza, it's all in the past. All right, so I'm going to hop out. It's 9:34, a lot longer than I actually wanted to talk. And the reason being, unfortunately, guys, which stinks for you guys and maybe me, is that I'm only going to go live for about 15 minutes, probably around 8:45. I know I've been saying that for a while, but it's going to be on that guy right there. So it's going to be better quality, better thumbnails. Hopefully, I'm going to, put some time away on Sunday. But if you guys have any questions, obviously leave in the comments below. Hit that subscribe button. And obviously, this is from Chris. So, Chris, thank you very much. Charles, you think you have to pick between stoicism and positive thinking? Now, No, not at all. Have both. You know, in T. Harv Ecker's millionaire mindset or millionaire something like that, T. Harv Eker, how are they contradictory? You know, that's an interesting point. Is, you know, I look at stoicism as complete acceptance. I look at positivity as something, belief in the future. I think that's the biggest thing, is that if you believe that your future is better than the present, you have something to work towards, whether that's, you know, going to the gym, eating right, relationship. Because if you don't see a future with this person that you're in a relationship, you're not going to put any effort in. If you don't see any future of going to the gym, you're never going to put any effort in. So you're not accepting the gym or the relationship. You have a belief towards the future. Okay? It's a little bit contradictory if you're talking about, you know, accepting something on someone else's behalf and they're not changing, which is, you know, they're jealous or they're negative or whatever the case is. Maybe that's a little contradictory. I think you need both, because positivity is really on the inside, and then stoicism is more of being a realist and positive, more like saying your mind will change the reality. Positive, I feel I would rather use the word belief. You know, believe that the future is going to be better than the present. You know, I think that's the best part. And then when something happens, you have to employ stoicism. You know, things that you didn't see happening, you know, disruption, a different app, you know, one of your employees leaves you or they quit or you're getting sued or your relationship or health reason. That's stoicism, where you have the acceptance of something bad, but in the present day to day is positivity. Because you know, I'll just leave you with this, is that my brother brought up how much you have to hold on to the belief every day, because the world can try to take it away by saying that it's not possible. Yeah, that's exactly it. And there's such an easy way to just live. Today is so easy to just live. I think I'm gonna make a separate video on that, because I could just go for hours on that. You don't need to do anything. You could literally be on the street right now in New York City, live the entire summer, spring, summer, and fall in New York City. You'll get whatever amount of money, you know, maybe $50 total, $40, $20, and you'll be able to live on the street in New York City. If you're in California, you know, you could live in Venice Beach, go to Venice Beach and just see. It's so easy, because disease is handled. Fresh water will come to you, food will come to you. You know, you're really not gonna, you know, let alone if you have a job and you're relatively normal in the fact of waking up and going to your job. It's so easy to not get anything done. And that's why people don't get anything done. And then when they hit 35 or 40 years old, they go fucking crazy. They blame other people. They go through the midlife crisis because they went just being in the phase. They're just durring around, you know? I was talking about it with my mom right now, is that you can see in older people, their wife dies and then the husband dies right after that. They retire and then they have nothing to live for. Those are the easy examples. The hard examples are when I'm walking around here and the person is 22 and they're walking to work with their headphones on, and then they go to work, and then they go to the bathroom with their cell phone, and then they come out of the bathroom with their cell phone, and then they go to lunch with their cell phone, and then they go to work, and then they come back and they go to the bathroom with their cell phone, and then they leave and they have headphones in. But they were busy all day. They were busy. Imagine doing that, compounding that every single day. That's the problem that people are going to be running into. There is no meaning behind that. There is no meaning. There is none. Because you live vicariously through a device instead of, it's 100% escapism. And it's that, I would say, would be the, I would say escapism. And honestly, is that we're just going to get really fat. And, you know, the cure to diabetes is not pills. The cure to diabetes is changing your diet to greens, meditating, and just fucking walk. That's going to be the problem. Is obesity, is health. It's just 100%. We've gone from not enough nutrition to too much food. Yeah, I do the elevator practice. To be honest, yeah, those are the only two things that we'll need to. I think the escapism will be able to handle because people will be able to change that, but their diet, that is not going to be an easy one. Yeah, yeah. I don't really watch sports at all anymore. I don't even get really anything on my phone anymore. ESPN app, because I noticed that there's going to be another season. There's going to be another year. There's going to be another championship. There's going to be another playoff. There's going to be another trade. There's always going to be something. And to be honest, I even look at the people on TV at CNBC, ESPN, anyone that's on TV, and I just say, thank God that's not me. Yes, they have fame. Yes, they have, public figureness, but they're not producing original content. They're not producing original, I just look at thought figures as people that will always go down in history. Those are the people that will go down in history, not the entertainers. Unless you are into that, I'm not. I look at people like Bezos and Musk and Bronson and Jobs, and even the regular thought leaders, the people that are writing the books, the people that are that have that resistance, as what's his name says, whatever in the book, The War of Art. Those are going to be the ones that go down in history. That's why I think that I'm going to go down in history as well, because I don't want to entertain. I want to create original content, get criticism if they don't agree with it, get haters if they don't agree with it, but then build an audience like Jordan Peterson. And he's probably making 40, 50,000, I don't know, maybe 25,000. I first heard you say ages ago that it was like he was on This Season Matters, This Game Matters. Then it came around to, yeah, that's so true. It's just never ending. Yeah, it's that one little thing. That's the thing. And I'll leave it at this because it's at 41 minutes right now. Is that if you get that one thing and you start dialing down the escapism, that isn't just today or tomorrow. That's your whole life. That's your whole life. Those notifications, those articles, those discussions, that's your whole life that you're saving if you leave it now, if you start dialing it down now. That one thing, if you take that, you are literally better than the rest of the people out there that are just going in there. So that if you don't have haters, you're not doing it right. Yeah, Grant, I think is, I had a heavy discussion with one of these top agents, and the guy said, I think the last of the OGs is going to be Tony Robbins, and 100%. Sports is a tribe, but people treat their team as we won. And they want to keep it at that way. Because if you don't feel that you are invested in it, then people are going to stop watching. My team, my player. And they get emotional, if something happens to that player or he treats the crowd or the people wrong or whatever. So that's it today. Personal development, entire story. I don't even know what I just talked about, but that was a nice 43 minutes. I can't do that anymore because otherwise I'll be broke living in a gutter outside if I keep on doing 45 minutes. So have an awesome day. Subscribe to the video. Leave your comments below. Chris, thank you for the comment because that obviously triggered the video. So if you guys have anything else, leave in the comments after the video goes live because otherwise it doesn't come up on YouTube. 1% better, YouTube. Let's go. Let's handle that. Subscribe to the video. Talk to you guys soon. And by the way, I'm also, if you guys don't want to watch it, it's on, or you want to re-listen to it, it's on iTunes and all those other things. The links are below because I have a VA, virtual assistant, that's actually uploading it to SoundCloud, and then SoundCloud goes to Google Play and iTunes. So if you want to catch it there, you can. I know that Audible, to me, is the future, based on the fact that I'm just a slow reader and I want to watch it at 2 times the speed. So when it comes out, I want to watch it at 2 times the speed or listen to it at 3 times the speed. So have an awesome day. Talk to you guys soon.